Welcome to The Longest Turn. This is episode 74, Jokkmokk, the Winter Market, and a holiday gift guide. My name is Tyler.
Hello, this is Kevin.
This is Tyson.
In this episode, we're going to talk about the games that we've been playing lately, then we're going to take a quick look at Jokkmokk, and then we're going to make some holiday gift guide recommendations.
That's right.
It's the holiday season. It's time to talk about what you might be able to give and receive during this time, right? And
It's been a few years since we've done our gift guide. This is kind of an updated gift guide.
Yeah.
We did it about 2 years ago.
2 years ago, because we've been doing a podcast for what now?
3 years.
A little over 3 years, right?
Who knew we'd last this long?
Yeah.
exactly.
I didn't. I mean, I'm glad we're still here, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're still here, independent of whether or not we have a podcast. The way you said that made me think I was a little bit threatened.
I didn't think we'd be dead. What are you talking about?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, so I don't know. We're approaching the holidays, busy time.
Yep.
We're going to try and knock out a fun episode, though. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah. Something happened that I want to talk about real quick.
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it?
No. Well, I'm talking about something else, I think, that happened today. But I don't want to talk about that.
No.
I want to have fun and talk about board games.
Cthulhu Death May Die actually arrived at my house.
It did.
Like how many years later? How long has it been since we backed this game?
It was my longest outstanding campaign by far.
And you got yours too, right?
I got
Tyler?
mine the same day, although it took about... Was your driver Daniel?
I didn't.
You got that.
I did not talk to him.
I didn't
well,
either,
it probably
but
says it like
it
who
says
delivered
on the
it, right?
tracking. Yeah, on the tracking, like your driver is Daniel.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
Daniel took like a good 6 hours to get from your house to my house, and we live like a mile apart, maybe.
Yeah, I got mine at like 11.
Yeah, mine showed up around 5, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tyson, when did yours show up?
Yeah, is Daniel still headed to your house?
Yeah, Daniel hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, you're in like the container that just got booked or something, right?
Yeah, I have to be because I have not seen or heard anything about it yet.
If there's anything, I can say I feel your pain because my Ankh shipment showed up about 2-3 months after everybody else's.
Yes,
it felt
did.
like.
That's right.
So I feel your pain, Tyson.
Yeah. It'll get.
Well, I was
there
looking at
eventually.
yours on the table over there, Tyler, earlier, and Kevin and I were chatting while you were upstairs for a bit, and I looked at the stuff and I was like, I don't even remember what I got in this now, so it'll be a complete surprise.
Yeah.
And then when I realized I probably got less, it's going to feel inadequate. But hey, I'm excited for it to arrive.
Good news. There happens to be a new Kickstarter
Yeah.
for Cthulhu Death. You can get whatever you want now.
Or
I
you can
still
go buy all
haven't
this crap
gotten-
at retail right now, Tyson.
Yeah. Probably 6 months before you'd get it if you backed the
Yeah, well, I
campaign.
could tell you that I will not be backing it probably at all. But even if I were, I will not be backing until at least I receive my copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So I know that the argument with Simon is, well, that's how they do all of their stuff. There's no guarantee that you're going to get it before retail does. And the benefit of backing it is you get the promos and the exclusives and all the stretch goals and stuff.
It still sucks, and it's still a terrible way to do business, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if it was like a week or two, fine.
Sure.
But when it's months and
There's restocks.
there's
in
already
retail.
been a retail restock,
It does grate at you a little bit.
it does. A little less now that I have my copies. But
yeah, so some of that goes away immediately when you get it.
yeah,
Sure.
and
But like
you start sniffing the
the
box
toxins,
and the glue, yeah, the cards. It's
all,
like-
yeah,
It may
all the plastic,
be
because there's
the
a lot of
toxins
plastic.
and giving you some sort of effect that is not natural. So.
Oh, I'm so happy my game's here. I
Yeah.
feel great.
Yeah, Simon's the best.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say that I am not nearly as bothered by it going to retail before I get my copy as much as I think either of you are. Now, that's not to say that it's not a little bit annoying, and I think there are better practices potentially to do it, but it doesn't bother me personally as much. I do think it bothers me more that
They started the next.
they
one.
started the next Kickstarter when you haven't even fulfilled the last one. Like,
Yeah.
and I get, like, start more Kickstarters as a company of different games. Sure, that's
Which
part
they
of your
do
business
plenty
model.
of.
That's
Yeah.
fine. But if you have a sequel to a game that hasn't even been delivered. That kind of irks me.
Yeah. No, yep.
I'm with you on that one.
I don't think we're alone in those frustrations.
Yeah. Look at the comments pretty much on, any social media platform or on GameFound itself. And there's some grumpy people out there.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's a fantastic game.
And I opened it, sorted it, punched it, all of the content. It took forever.
I did that as well.
And I sleeved it and everything, which is kind of a pain because you have to open up each individual episode and then put everything back in its place, and it takes a long time to do.
Do they use the most tight shrink wrap ever?
Oh, I hate it.
You're trying to open it
and not damage the cards.
Yes. Very, very frustrating.
There were some that I probably spent 10 minutes.
You're on barely picking at the corner.
On one, and my fingers were hurting so bad. I had to get my wife to do it because she has longer fingernails, and she finally was able to do it. But yeah, I completely agree.
I could see myself asking my wife to help me open a board game, and she'd be like, no.
Yeah,
Why would I do that?
Well, I'm thinking maybe I get a knife, an X-Acto knife,
or pin needle to just barely tear the corner so that you can pull the plastic back.
Yeah. No.
Looks like you need to start a YouTube channel of the technicals ways to open CMON games.
From shrink wrap to sleeving.
Minor, the production value of these games are fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just a minor thing. The inserts, they're okay, but they function and they do an okay job, I guess. But I did get a chance to actually play the first episode in season 3, and it was fantastic. And as usual, it came down to the last turn, and we barely won against Azazathoth or whatever, one of the elder gods in season 3.
That's awesome.
Super fun. It was awesome. We had the animal allies in there. Those were cool.
They look awesome.
There was a monkey, Titus the chimp, and he was just going around doing damage and flinging poop at people that were thinking he was doing anyway, which was awesome. And then there was a snake that was Celeste the snake, and gave whoever was there free rerolls, and it was cool. And it's just a fantastic game. So despite taking so long, glad it's here. Can't wait till yours gets here too.
Tyson. Yeah,
there you
that'll
go.
be great one day. Yeah. If not, I'll just play your copies, I guess.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
I have gone through lately. I've begun the great culling of my collection recently.
I have sold a few games as well.
I've gotten, within the last week, I've sold 6 games.
6 games?
Wow. 6 games.
Where are you selling them at?
Facebook Marketplace is where I'm doing it, and it's been really successful. Games that I didn't think I was going to get rid of, like some people were interested in Citadels. Somebody wanted my copy of Citadels, and I was
Citadels?
It kind of shocked me. I was like, okay,
game's been around forever.
Yeah, Small World. Somebody wanted my copy of Small World. I had the Small World Realms expansion too. They picked that up. I just am at the point where I marked them down to really good prices.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think that's starting to make them move faster. And I know what my games are worth, and I'm marking them at a lot less. So when people are haggling with me on Facebook Marketplace, that kind of irks me as well.
You're selling it for 30. Will you take 15? No, I won't.
This game cost $150. I've marked it down to a really reasonable price. Thanks.
Yeah. I sold Apiary and Tapestry. Recently.
Tyler's a little sad about the Apiary. I would have played Apiary again. Yeah.
Well, I got a pretty good price for it.
Tapestry.
I was hoping that was going to be on your white elephant list, and you were gonna
just give it away.
Yeah.
Well, no, I got some money for it.
I made a list of about 100 games that I would like to cull, but I have not gone through the process of checking the condition on everyone, so that I can put it in notes like, hey, it's got shelfware, it's sleeved.
See, I just took pictures and said, as is condition.
Okay.
That's what I did.
And I marked it as low, really low cost. So it's really low cost. You'll get a game. I do a good job of keeping my games in good shape and condition. If you want specific pictures of a game, I'll take extra pictures.
Yeah, and I put copy sleeved, comes with plans and ploys.
That's what I try to do too. And I primarily list them on BGG. That's where I've sold the most of my games, and that's probably what I'll do here, and add lists to our Discord server and other ones that I'm on.
Oh, I haven't done our Discord server. I know.
Neither have I, but I haven't wanted to ship any, so I haven't put it on BGG or anywhere else.
Oh, you're listing local.
I'm only doing local.
You've sold
sales.
6 local?
Sold 6 locally, and
Did you invite them to game night?
you know what? I had one guy come to my house and he wanted to look at my collections. He's like, I might come back. I mentioned that we have a podcast, and like I've been trying to like connect with anybody.
Invite him to game night, and it'll be at my house.
Yeah.
And he can look at my shelf.
Hey,
and
what do you need? What else do you want?
This shelf is for sale.
I did give one of him a free game.
To sweeten the pot a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Or you just didn't want it?
I didn't want it. Was Deck of Wonders. I got rid of that game,
Okay.
and I didn't really have a good experience with it. But I was like, "You can have that one." And he's like, "Okay." So great.
Nice. Oh, there you go. Maybe I'll try the local thing. I did find a geek list that's a local geek list where people post games that they have for sale, and where they're located, and maybe where they work. So I'm here often, and you can coordinate swaps that way.
See,
so
that would
no
work.
takers from what I've posted there yet.
I think Facebook Marketplace is a really good spot for a lot of stuff, and the benefit is, while my wife will not open Cthulhu Death May Die with me with her fingernails, she will sell my games for me. Like
she will get them out of the house.
She's eager, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll just," because I don't have a Facebook account. I don't have social media personally.
Oh, so she's
doing it.
Oh,
through
you're
her
having
account,
your wife
and
sell your
I'm not
games?
even doing anything. Like
Wow.
it's great.
Holy cow! Can she sell my games?
Yeah.
I mean, if she gets a slice of the pot, she'd absolutely do that. I'm sure.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Do you guys want to buy anything on my
I
shelves?
do not. And it's the old argument of, why would I buy a game from you that you don't want to play?
Right.
Because then I wouldn't get to play.
Yeah.
Right? That's just...
But that doesn't go back the other way the same. Why would I sell you apiary to keep it in the group? Right?
No, I'm going to get crap for apiary for a while.
I would have bought it.
One
from
time you bought a Feast for Odin for what did you buy that for?
Oh my gosh. And I immediately messaged you defying the
If you're gonna bring up apiary.
in-flight rules of shutting off your cell phone.
Just a simple text, all right? A simple text. That's all I wanted. It was just one text.
I'm going to go back. I still need to go find the timestamp of that order and then the timestamp of the message that I sent you saying, hey, Miniature Market's having a ridiculous sale. You got to get these.
That was a good sale. It was
coincidentally, A Feast for Odin is on my coal list.
Yeah. Have you played that copy? You played it on BGG or BGA.
Yeah, I've never played it, and I'm never going to play it. We got too many games.
I know, and too many games that I really, really want to play.
Yeah, and
as opposed to a game that I'm like, okay, that'd be cool to play.
Or that'd be cool to play, but it's already on BGA. Why do I still have this?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I've been rethinking my collection as well.
Yeah,
it's like
pulling back.
Yeah, I agree. Like I posted on our Discord, I'm not going to back Revenant because I'm like, well, I hope it's awesome. You're getting a copy, Tyler. Maybe. Are you going to back it?
Yeah, I backed it. But
good. But something in the Voidfall universe, I probably am going to want to play Voidfall if I'm going to invest time to play a game, but maybe it's going to be different
enough.
If you only
I don't
have
know. 2 hours to play instead of 4.
It's more accessible potentially. It's more easy to table. See, that's the problem is that any of these big games are hard to get tabled. I just sold my copy of Lisboa.
Okay.
And I was really $45. That's how much I put my copy for Lisboa.
That's like a $100 game, right?
More than $100 game with all the stuff I have. But
sure. Yeah.
I mean, I have the mini expansion and a couple of other things, but I was like, and it's one that I love. I love that game. It's been on my top 50 list each time that we've done it. It was in my top 10 for a while, but we just don't play it. And that's real hard
That one pains
part.
me a little bit as well, because of all of the Lacerda games, that one probably interests me the most, right? We played On Mars. I sold my On Mars because I don't think I'm ever going to want to play that or get it played. You still have yours, Tyler, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
I had multiple buyers for Lisboa.
But at $45, yeah, for sure.
Right.
People are going to jump all over that.
But the person who ended up purchasing it said, I can't pick it up until the end of the month. So can I pay you in advance and you just hold on to it for me? Oh. So I've been paid for it. I still have about 2 or 3 weeks left.
Let's
of
get
having
it played.
So
Refund
if
his
you want
money.
to play,
Come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
Lisboa before it's gone.
Last
This
chance.
is the only chance you
Or
got.
you could change your mind and refund his money, and then
There you go.
I think it.
But that game is
if
beautiful.
we get it played, and then you're like, yeah, we have to have this in the collection, then maybe.
Yeah.
It's funny too. You sell a game and then sometimes you have remorse immediately. Like maybe I would have played that. Oh, I don't know. Do you guys ever do that?
Yeah,
I think I other than the fact that it was still on BGA, I had a little bit of remorse when I got rid of Lost Ruins of Arnak. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But it was on BGA, so I've still got
Access
30
to it.
plus plays
Yeah.
on BGA with it. So I don't miss it too much. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of anything else I've sold that I've been upset about, but
Usually I don't. Usually I'm like, okay, it feels good to free up some space and get a little bit of cash to go towards whatever else,
yeah. There's this amazing hit of exhilaration when you get the game, and then
When you sell it.
when you sell it, it kind of you kind of get the same feeling a little
Do we
bit.
have a problem?
I think so.
Yeah, gotta get your fix.
The one guy who came into my house and looked at the games I was selling and looked at my game library and my game table and stuff was just like, he was impressed by the setup I had, and I was like, oh, but you should see Tyler and Kevin.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. That's funny. Yeah, that's cool.
We should probably either make this a separate episode or talk about games that we've been playing lately.
Yeah, we probably should jump into that.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Let's do that. Who's starting?
Go for it.
Okay, I'll go. Underdog Games, we talked a lot about their games. The Trekking series, we played recently at Cabin Con, Trekking the National Parks, which was a lot of fun, a really good family weight game. They sent us the second edition of Trekking the World. So they sent us the first edition. We talked about that one. That one happened to be my favorite in the Trekking series, and it is now surpassed by the second edition. This is now my favorite.
It's an improvement.
It is an improvement. They did a fantastic job improving the game. And it is a pretty big overhaul of the system and how the first one plays. But it has its similarities, right? So the map is very similar. It's a map of the world, divided into regions. All these regions are different colors. So you got North America, South America, Africa, all the different regions of the world, and airports and routes connecting all of those regions. On your turn, this game is very simple. It's very much a family weight game. You're going to choose an itinerary. So there are 5 itineraries that are laid out, and you choose one of them. On that itinerary, there is a movement, there is money, then there's a region of the world with some souvenir tokens. Okay. So you do from top to bottom, you're going to move. You're going to take your character, you're going to move it however many spaces, you'll end up in a spot in the world. Okay. Then you're going to collect money, and the itinerary card will tell you how much money you collect. Then if you end up in the region where your itinerary card shows that region, then you will pick up any souvenirs that are showing on that card, and you put them in your suitcase. That's similar to how the other game played, right? And you're filling from left to right. And as you fill more souvenirs, you're going to get more in-game points if you complete the columns, right? Mm-hmm. A difference in this one is you can get itinerary tokens, which are really cool. So if you cover up with a souvenir and itinerary token, you can get a blue one, which is a frequent flyer token. You can get a movement token, a money token, or a souvenir token. So the frequent flyer token means that you can discard that to move from your current location to any airport for free. So it just gives you more movement options, which is cool. And you can spend this at any time that you want. The movement token means you can trade in a movement token to move one extra space than what your itinerary says. So that gives you more movement options. The money token, when gaining money from your itinerary, you return a money token to get twice as much money. So it just allows you to get more money. And I'll explain what money does in a minute. And then souvenir token, when gaining souvenirs from an itinerary, return a souvenir token to gain that same number of color cubes again. So you get souvenirs, you can do that again by trading in that token. So that's a change, and that's actually kind of fun to get these tokens and then strategically play them at certain parts of the game. And it can feel really good, and it's kind of a cool addition, I thought. All right, so you choose an itinerary. Then once you're in a new location, if you are in where if you're in a location and then there's an encounter card and there's an encounter card row, you can take that encounter card. And that encounter card will give you a special one-time ability that you can use during the game. Or it could potentially give you end game scoring points based on certain conditions. So you keep these encounter cards and then you can play them and do cool things on your subsequent turns, which is cool. And all of them do different things. You can look at them in advance and say, well, that one looks cool, and then try to get to the location, take that encounter card, and then use that encounter card. And it's kind of a little bit of a combo-y type feel, which is really cool. And then the last thing is if you end your spot in a location where you can do a tour, you can spend money in order to take that tour. So that's similar to the other one, right?
For sure.
And that's just end game scoring points. So you do those things, that's the end of your turn, then it goes to the next player. End game is triggered depending on player count. So in a 2 to 3 player game, when somebody takes their 5th tour, the game is over. And then in a 4 to 5 player game, somebody takes their 4th tour, the game is over. And that's it. But it's a lot of fun. And what I think is really cool is these encounter cards are fun. And the tokens that I talked about are fun. None of this is super complex, but it's very satisfying to get to a place, take an encounter, get a special ability, do that special ability, get these tokens, use those tokens in a way that gets you to where you want to go, get money, maybe turn in a token to get double money so that you can take a tour on your next turn in a place and you have enough money to do that. It's just thinking about those things is kind of it's a satisfying experience, and it's a lot of fun. So I highly recommend this one if you want a kind of a lighter weight game that you can play with your family that still has some interesting decisions for gamers, right?
Yeah.
But can engage gamers and families alike. I think it's really cool.
So I think we need some type of competition.
Okay.
I think the first listener who's not in our gaming group to show up at Kevin's house gets the copy of the first edition of the game.
Oh.
In the spirit of the game and trekking the world.
Absolutely.
Whoever shows up at Kevin's house.
Right.
And that Kevin.
You have to find out where I live, I guess.
You got to find out where he lives.
That's
like first person to show up.
That's kind of stalkery.
That's what I was going to say.
Gets a copy of the first edition
I'm a
of
little
Trekking
concerned.
the World.
How about we keep it at your house and they find your house? But I like the thought there. They're trekking the world to find my copy
thematic.
Of the first edition of Trekking the World.
Yeah. And
wow. Yeah.
like Glenn can't pick it up. He knows where you live.
Right.
And he's in our group and
sure.
our gaming group. And
yeah.
So no friends that are local listeners. It has to be someone else.
Okay. I don't know.
Should we put a pin in that?
Yes, that's what I was just going to say. Let's put a pin in it.
All right.
Let's revisit it in about 5 years. Okay. And we'll see if at that time we want to go forward with it.
So I'm curious, though, with Trekking the World, 2nd edition, you mentioned, Kevin, that this is a light family weight game, right?
Yes.
And the Trekking the National Parks is also a light family weight game.
That's even lighter.
Substantially more so is what I would say.
Yes.
Now, I think I liked playing Trekking the National Park, but it is a very clean cut kind of a design, right? Like there's not much going on in it. You played Trekking the World with your family. Do you feel like there would be a place to play both of these, or this is because the complexity in this one is it's more engaging, I would suspect. Would you ever see a place for having both of these in your collection?
I think the only yes, I think so. And I think not necessarily for the gameplay, but thematically, I think Trekking the National Parks is really cool. And I like national parks. I like the art. I like how Underdog puts something about
little
the national,
notes
like
about
little
it,
notes
yeah.
about it. I'm not upset having both for sure, or I wouldn't be if I was purchasing those. I like Trekking the World better. I think it's a better game, but thematically, I think Trekking the National Parks is fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and it's an engaging experience, and we've made the mention that it was similar to Ticket to Ride in some regards, and so similar way and similar experiences to some extent. And so for me, I could see that being good, and with my kids especially, I would introduce my younger kids to Trekking the National Parks before I would Trekking the World.
Yeah,
but
I played this with my 11-year-old, and she she's 11, so she picks up on stuff pretty quick, and she did great. I mean, Logan would not be probably entertained by a game, one of these really types of games,
Harvest, and that's pretty lightweight.
I still think Harvest has more placement to it. It is lightweight, but at least in comparison to trekking the national parks, it's more complex than that for sure. Now, I've only played the first edition of Trekking the World, and so it sounds like the second edition is definitely a better experience, but I don't know.
I think so. I like the first edition as well, but
is the first edition the one that's on BGA?
Yes.
Okay, so I've played that, and I thought it was fun.
Yeah, and it's interesting. There's no blocking in this one, so blocking is a big part of the first edition one, because you get in somebody's way, you can't go through. You can't go through them.
Kind of removed that take that element.
They did. They removed that a little bit. But it's a complete overhaul. It's interesting. There's a designer's diary on BGG that goes over the thought behind all of the changes that they made. And it's worth looking up, because I read through that, and it's been a little bit since I read through it, so I don't remember exactly. But I remember reading it and going, oh, okay, yeah, these are all good changes. I mean, they did. Nice. They were very thoughtful about what they did in the second edition, and I think they did a good job with it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a better experience.
Yep. So that's Trekking the World, second edition.
So I was able to play an expansion of Green Team Wins. Have you guys played Green Team Wins?
No, you've talked about it a couple of times,
played it.
and I haven't had a chance.
It's a party game. Everybody has a marker board. You sit around on the couch, whatever. You don't have to be playing at a game table. And there are 15 different cards that you read each game. And there's multiple choice cards, there's fill in the blank cards, and then there's a 50-50 cards. When you start out the game, you're on the orange team, and everybody's on the orange team. And if you get the first question right, then you go to the green team and you get a point. If you get another question right, the next one, then you get 2 points. If you get a question wrong, you go back to the orange team and don't score any points, okay? And when I say right or wrong, you're trying to guess the answer that is the majority answer. Okay. So if it's what's your favorite color and blue is the majority answer and you wrote blue, then you're on the green team and you get a point. If you're already on the green team, you get 2 points and stay on green team, right? If you get it wrong, you go back to orange team. So anyway, you're trying to score as many points, but it's lighthearted fun. It's a game that facilitates discussions about different topics, right? Well, I got the holiday party expansion, and I've played this several times. I think I'm close to going all the way through all the new cards. And like I said, you have 5 multiple choice, 5 fill in the blank, and 5 this or that. And it's been a lot of fun. It was a nice kickoff to the holiday season. I'll give you an example of like the best of 3. When is it okay to start hearing holiday music? Number 1, after Halloween. Number 2, after Thanksgiving. Or number 3, December only.
If Tyler's playing, the answer is going to be August, but
it's gonna be after Halloween.
After Halloween, this is.
But that's
true.
not the correct answer. Right.
It was in the game that we played with 7 other people. It
depends on your players, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's what they answer. Yeah.
Now, do you have to? So, like the example you gave earlier about favorite color, right, being blue. You have to answer truthfully, or are you gaming it to try and answer it the way that you think everybody else is going to answer?
Yeah, you're gaming it. You're trying to answer how you think everybody else is going to answer. So, like a fill in the blank is like sleigh blank, right? I said sleigh bells, and after everybody writes down an answer, you reveal your marker board and go around the circle and say your answers. I said sleigh bells. That was not the majority answer.
Sleigh ride.
Sleigh ride was the answer.
I would have thought sleigh bells as well.
Thank you. That's what I thought.
That's what came to my mind.
Yeah, everybody I was playing with played wrong.
We have to play this game together.
Yes.
I disagree with both of you because I said sleigh ride.
So. Okay. Well,
and then
you're not invited.
The this or that questions are like white lights or multicolor lights. So on your house, right?
Yep.
So again, the answer was multicolor. That one I also got wrong. I put white because I don't know.
Because you're boring.
Is it on your house? That's what it says?
It doesn't say that,
tree?
but it's more implied of what you think about, right?
Well, yeah, because our tree does both.
Yeah.
And it's a fight to see like
yeah,
because I like the
setting
white.
is used?
I like the white lights.
I do too.
And my all my kids like the colored lights.
I feel like
So we're switching nonstop, and we're gonna burn that.
Mine
tree
does
out.
both, and it alternates.
Whoa!
Which I hate. My kids love the alternating, and I feel like I'm going to have a seizure because it's alternating so much.
Oh wait a minute. So okay, it's alternating. I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have ours goes like dim to really light, and then back to dim.
you guys got one of those new fandangled Christmas trees.
Yeah, I hate it. I just want a solid, either colored lights or solid white.
Yeah.
But anyway,
on a house, I like solid white or those really bright alternating red and green.
okay.
But to me, I know there's two colors, but to me, multicolor implies three or more. I know two. There are two
multiple
colors, but I feel like this should have been a multiple choice classification: white, red and green, or multicolor.
You are very opinionated about Christmas.
So anyway, it's 105 cards. I think you could play through it 7 times with all the new cards, and it's just a lot of fun. If you like Green Team Wins, if you like the holidays or Christmas type things, a theme, then go out and get this expansion. It's cheap.
But don't play it with Tyler because apparently he gets AP playing this game, and it's not called the longest turn for no reason.
Whatever. Nope.
Nice.
So
I like
yeah, it's a fun little addition to Green Team Wins, designed by Nathan Thornton. Nathan Thornton's a super nice guy. I met him at Gen Con and Origins, and this was published by 25th Century Games. I pre-ordered it like 6 months ago. For a while I was like, is this even going to show up before Christmas? But it did. So that is Green Team Wins Holiday Party.
So you both have talked about games that you've been playing with family. I want to talk about a game that I've been playing with my family. My kids have wanted to try a new game. I mentioned last time with my kids, we learned how to play Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, right? Deck builder game. They learned how to play a deck builder. And after we got back from Cabin Con and we had just played Clank Catacombs, I was itching to play some more Clank. And I thought, you know what? My kids, my 5-year-old and my 7-year-old, I think we can do this. I think that they can figure this out. There's just basically symbols. I'll tell them what the values of things are and like read any text that may needed. My 7-year-old can read and he can understand all of that, so he does that on his own. But my 5-year-old needed a little bit of help. But I decided to play Clank, and they loved it. They have been playing it, and they ended up playing it 3 days in a row. We played Clank, the base game. And then we added Sunken Treasures in, which is Clank, except there are some rooms that are flooded. And the gimmick in the flooded room is that if you end your turn in a flooded room, you get damaged. You have to come up for air sometime during your turn. And if you don't come up for air and you remain in the flooded room, you take damage. There is scuba gear in the market that you can get that'll allow you to swim through, and there are little fin marks on the board instead of just footprints, and it'll make it easier to pass between corridors and things like that. So it's little things like that, and they add a bunch of new cards and enemies and underwater enemies and things like that, which is fun. But we've been playing that, and then the next day they asked their mom if they could play because I was gone or something, and they convinced their mom to play Clank with them. So Clank has been getting a lot of play in our house, and I think this is a fantastic game. The fact that we're playing it and my kids are competitive. My 7-year-old, he was really upset because he died in the dungeon both times that I played with him. But if he hadn't had died in the dungeon with no help from me, he would have gotten the 20 points from escaping, and he would have beat me. And I was like, that is a success. And once I pointed that out to him, he felt pretty accomplished that he was that close to victory. And
nice.
Dude, you are about to enter the sweet era of being able to play games with your kids that just get continually more and more complex and more fun, and that's awesome.
No, I'm excited for it, absolutely. And this was a good a foray into that. Like, I'd rather play Clank Catacombs, but I think that base Clank gives me a lot of the same vibes.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic.
It's wonderful. But this was great, and it was a game that I wanted to play, and so the fact that they played it and they played it well was really encouraging.
Maybe you shouldn't be selling all your games right now.
I know. There were certain games that I didn't end up selling. You know what game is not on my coal pile?
Septima?
No, that's already gone by the way.
Oh, it is? You sold it?
I didn't sell that one. We'll get to that.
Okay, go.
We'll get
That
to
one's
that.
on my sell pile too. So yeah.
No, Adrenaline.
Oh, Tyson, I didn't get a chance to play it.
It's not on the
he
sell
said he
pile.
didn't. He didn't sell it.
Oh, good. Oh, dang.
It's not.
I mean, good. Yes, good.
Because I pulled it off the shelf thinking I was going to sell it, and both of my boys were there, and they're like, "We want to play that one." They saw the box art, and they were excited. And I was like, "Okay, give it a little bit longer, and then we'll play it." So I held on to it.
I've always
good thing.
Did you sell Hyperborea? Because I still want to try that.
It's on the sell pile.
For how much?
I think that one's like $20.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd still like to try it.
I would too. I've tried to bring it out multiple times. It's been on my shelf of shame list for an entire year, and it didn't get played. So it's on the coal pile.
Did you sell Tainted Grail?
Yeah, because
But yeah,
for all $0, because I never bought it for any dollars.
you just gave it away,
I got
man.
confusing. No, so that was Clank, not
okay.
Tainted Grail,
Okay,
because
nice.
it's never existed in my collection.
All right,
Who put it on the spreadsheet then for that first time for CavinCon? I swear it was you.
I think it was
It could have been me thinking you had it.
Maybe. Okay.
I don't think so.
mass confusion around Tainted Grail. I mean,
Pull us out of confusion, Kevin. What are we talking about next?
So I got this game played at Matt's wedding, actually. And it's on BGA. So since then, I've got it played a ton more because it's a fantastic game. This is Trek 12 from Pandasaurus Games, designed by Bruno Cathala and Corentin Lebrat.
I'm detecting a theme between what you've been playing, only trekking games.
This is true. I did not make that connection, but
Trekking
yes.
the national park, trekking the world, Trek 12.
Trek 12, yeah. This is a roll and write game. Been having a ton of fun with this one. The way this works, you have 2 dice that get rolled. And the value on these dice, one of them is 0 to 5, the other is 1 to 6. You roll the die, and then everybody writes a number on their sheet. Now, the sheet has a bunch of circles on it, and these circles are connected. And on the sheet, there are options of what you can select for those dice. You can either take the highest value die of one of the two. You can take the lowest. You can subtract the value one from another and take that value. You can multiply them together. And I am forgetting one of the other options. Add. I don't think I said add. So add, subtract, multiply, highest or lowest. You can do each option up to 4 times during the entire game. Okay. So you select one of those options and you write that number in one of the circles. Okay. On subsequent turns, you have to connect to a circle that you've already written a number in. So somebody else rolls, you take one of those options, you put it in an adjacent circle. What you're trying to do, you're trying to get runs of numbers. So 0 to 8, for example, and you'll get points based on the highest number in that run and each additional circle that you've filled in. Okay. You're also trying to get groups of like numbers. So if you have 8s and you have them all touching each other, you get 8 points plus 1 additional point for each additional 8 that you have in that circle or adjacent to that circle. Okay. You get points for your longest, you get points for your biggest group. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to position yourself and you're trying not to take all of your options away because you only have 4 of each option, whether you're adding, subtracting, or multiplying or whatever. And you're trying not to get yourself in a bad spot, right? While also maximizing your score. It's easier to get the higher numbers with addition and multiplication, but if you take all those options off, you won't have those options anymore. And you could, be off in nowhere and not be able to put a number. If you put a number, it becomes that doesn't connect either with the group or with the run, it becomes an orphaned number and you get -3 points at the end of the game. You put a little frowny face because you're sad that you didn't do it. And whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. Super simple concept. It's a kind of a twist on the roll and write that I think is done in a good way. There's a ton of different maps. There's a Christmas map.
I saw that.
Where you are, yeah.
I was like, it looks like a Christmas tree. And I was like, oh, it's a Christmas one.
It is. It's a Christmas one. And
Yeah.
that's on BGA, which is, we play that a ton. It's a lot of fun. You're trying to connect with your runs, the different ornaments on the tree. And if you do that, you get more points. But groups of numbers can't be with ornaments because I don't know why, but they can't. And you get minus, or you don't get points if it is on an ornament. You're trying to get to the top of the tree. Whoever does that first gets 10 points. If there are any orphans, because nobody likes orphans around Christmas time. Oh, that sounded horrible.
And Buddy the Elf was an orphan.
Yeah, no, people like orphans, but you don't want orphans, especially at Christmas time. Especially at Christmas, it's minus 5 points instead of 3 if there's orphans on this map. So then there's other maps that introduce different rules, like rivers and stuff, and there are a bunch of them on BGA that are fun to explore. So I would recommend this game. I think it's great.
So what is the actual base game called?
It's the
Amazonia or the Himalaya?
I played Himalaya, but there is Amazonia, and I don't know if that one is available. Okay. I actually I emailed Pandasaurus to ask about that one, and they said it's not currently available in the US, I believe. But Himalaya is.
Nice.
And that one's, I think, worth picking up. I don't have a physical copy of it. Matt does, but I may end up picking that one up eventually.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one. Trek 12.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about one more, also involving a journey of sorts. This is the Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth. This is Seven Wonders Duel in the Lord of the Rings world, okay? In the Lord of the Rings IP. But it is, in my opinion, significantly better than Seven Wonders Duel. I love Seven.
Why would that be?
Well,
please tell us.
Yes, there are a few things that have been added to this game. It's obviously rethemed. I love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, most of the time.
True Lord of the Rings. I love Middle Earth and all of its intentions by J.R.R. Right? I love this theme. I love this IP. So I love the game already, but it takes it to the next level. I do love Seven Wonders Duel. My copy is worn out. I don't know that I'll ever get it to the table again now that I have this in my collection. One of the coolest things about this is there is a track, and it is the ring bearer on it, and there's also a Nazgul on it, okay? But it has like this clear plastic overlay that goes over this cardboard, and so every time the ring bearer moves towards Mount Doom, which is at the end of the track, the ring wraith is on the plastic overlay. What?
Every time you've said ring bearer, I think How I Met Your Mother, the ring bearer.
When Frodo moves, the Nazgul also moves. So you got this track. At the end is Mount Doom. The player controlling Frodo causes him to move towards Mount Doom. The whole overlay slides, and so the Nazgul also moves. And so Frodo doesn't get further away from the Nazgul. When the Nazgul moves, then he gets closer to Frodo, and if he catches Frodo, that player wins. If Frodo makes it to Mount Doom first, whoever's controlling Frodo and the Free Peoples wins, right? So that's one way to win. That element kind of replaces the army battle track.
The tug and war.
The tug of war, right? It's
it's
a twist on it, but it's different and it's better, in my opinion.
Okay.
There's another way to win is there's a map of Middle Earth, and there's different regions. When you build a landmark tile, you get to put a tower on one of those regions. Plus, there are cards that you get that you draft that let you deploy soldiers and move them around. If at any point one player controls or has a presence in all 6 of the lands in Middle Earth that are represented in this game, they also win that way, right? Then, of course, to replace like the science tokens, there are race tokens in this one. So it's like elves and dwarves and hobbits and humans and ents and wizards. There's very unique powers that are associated with collecting those tokens when you get a pair of them, or if you get 3 unique ones, you get to select an a unique power token. Something like, so like from the dwarves, one of them is when you play a landmark tile, ignore the additional coin cost. There's an additional coin cost every time you build another landmark. So like the science victory, it's now by getting enough races support.
Building your fellowship.
Yes. Yeah. So
Nice.
I love this game. It's fantastic. I've got a few plays of it. We've had victories show up in each form, both Frodo, the Nazgul catching Frodo, conquering the entire land, and the science victory, or, the gathering the strength of rally the support of 6 different races.
Nice.
So this is the Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth, replaces Seven Wonders Duel for me in my collection. I will say the box is a little flimsy, but other than that, the production is great.
It does sound a lot better to me than Seven Wonders Duel. I liked Seven Wonders Duel, and I know we've talked about it a lot on this podcast.
I love that game. I think it's fantastic.
Injecting a little bit of theme. Seven Wonders is a very generic theme in general, which not necessarily a bad thing, but inject a little bit of theme to this, and it sounds really interesting.
And I don't feel like it's just pasted on. Like, I feel like they did a really good job.
It's not just a retheme to get to... It's not a cash grab.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't sound like that.
It's not a pasted on IP that is just, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, this is the only reason you'd buy the game.
Is it sounds like a slightly more complex?
A little bit more complex, and the unique powers that you get from the race tokens, those race effects are very widely in what they allow you to do, and can be pretty powerful.
Okay, cool. But not a complicated game by any means.
No, it's still, you've still got the basic, you're laying out cards and you alternate turns, drafting a card and doing whatever that card allows you to do.
Cool.
And plays super quick, 15, 20 minutes, just like Seven Wonders Duel. So
nice. I like it.
It's awesome. So that is, I already said that.
What was it? Seven Wonders Duel?
The Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth.
What?
Still keeping on with the very long
We've got
Lord of the
to
Rings
put the
titles.
title Lord of the Rings.
That's so funny how that is. Yeah.
There's got to be some contractual agreement.
It's got to be at least
that.
7 or 8 words in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings, blah, 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 trick taking, blah, 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 Duel for Middle-earth.
Lord
blah,
of the Rings,
blah, blah.
Journeys in Middle-earth.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
whatever.
There's lots of fun ones in there.
Yeah.
Underhill, Overhill.
Yeah, that was a really long one. Should we talk about Jokkmokk, or do you have one more, Tyson?
I don't have to.
All right, yeah, let's jump into Jokkmokk. You seem sad.
I had more, yes.
We can.
No, I don't need it.
Continue.
That's fine.
All right.
Just give us a little
a teaser, like a little tease of what your game. Yeah. What?
It's another journey trekking kind of experience game.
Is it really?
Dead serious.
Tell us. Do tell us.
You can't leave us on the edge of our seats.
Now I want to know.
It's a game called Refuge.
Oh.
It's a game published by Bombix, and it's designed by Gerald Catio. And it is a game that I've only played on BGA, actually, so far. But I've almost bought this game as a result of playing it on BGA. What this game is it's a bag building game.
I think this is an alpha.
I think it's not.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's in full release at this point. But the game itself was just released. And it was. I was having a hard time finding a copy that I could purchase. But I think it's coming into production here at a larger scale soon. Anyway, Refuge is a game essentially the theme is you are going on a walk in a forest area and you are trying to observe all nature and collect all of the beautiful things there, I guess, before the storm comes and gets too bad for you to be out. The theme here is irrelevant to me. Like, I don't feel it at all, except for you have bad things in your bag. It's a bag builder game where you're drawing out tiles, and in the tiles you have 2 potential lightning strikes. Depending on player count, there are a certain number of lightning strikes that occur by the certain point in the game. and you have not returned to your refuge, then you are going to lose out on points. You're going to have a negative point effect. Essentially, as you're going through, you're drawing from this bag, and there are these different tiles. In the tiles, they have forest tiles, and they have other tiles for like animals and things like that. Each time you play this game, there are a set of tiles that can be drafted, and I think there's like 3 or 4 different sets that can in the game, and there are 8 tiles per set, so they kind of interact differently, and the style of play changes up when you play with a different set of tiles. Some of the tiles are just straight up points, so like you're either collecting shoes or you're collecting hearts when you're creating your path, I guess. And as you're going through this game, you're drawing these tiles and placing them down into a row in front of you. And this row builds out this path for you. If there are a number of trees when the lightning strike happens, then you're going to lose a number of points based off of the total number of forest tiles. If there are animals in there, they won't lose you points, but you may not gain points. So it's a push your luck kind of a game in here with some bag building elements that has been really interesting. I've played this a few times, and I'm really enjoying it. And I know that we've talked a lot about in the past bag builders on this podcast, and we like bag builders.
Some of them.
So in this, I think there's a couple things. There's things about Orleans that I really like that this game kind of emulates to some extent. In my opinion, the best bag builder. It does a really good job of also emulating some things from like Quacks of Quedlinburg. It's got your push your luck element of like that bag building, but it does have the bad tiles. But however, on your turn, you're drawing 2 tiles, and usually you get the option to choose between the 2 tiles what you want to be able to play in front of you. If you draw a lightning strike, you've just removed your choice, essentially, because you have to play the lightning strike, and then you have to play whatever's left over. Now, the only potential real bad thing is on your turn, you could pull both of your lightning tiles at once, and then it would mean that you're not getting any benefits that round. So that's the one feel bad thing that is closer to maybe Wonderland's Ward there. But I think they've done a really good job of mitigating it because you have the 2 options between your usually.
So when you pick one option, when you do have the choice to pick 2, does the other one go back into your bag?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yeah, and there is some trashing mechanics in this as well. So like, which I think is fun that you can actually get rid of forest tiles. So if you're trying to like, you can have certain strategies of I'm trying to get rid of forest tiles and only have animal tiles, because even if the lightning strikes, I can continue to push my luck and try and draw and draw and draw. But if the lightning strikes, the net benefit of points that I'm earning is greater than my net loss of if the lightning strikes. So it makes me feel like I don't have to worry about it as much because I've trashed the forest tiles and stuff. It's interesting. I think there's a lot of fun little mechanisms in there. I'm going to be continuing to play this more because I think there's some stuff to explore. And like I said, I've almost pulled the trigger on buying this one, but I haven't yet. But I want to give this one some more plays as a result.
It might be the brightest game you own if you end up buying it.
It's very bright. It's colorful.
It is really
colorful. The art is done by Septima, and she does a really good job of using
it looks great.
A gorgeous color palette.
Yeah, no, it does look good.
But yeah.
Nice.
That's Refuge.
Awesome. I'm glad you shared that with us.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to try that now on Board Game Arena. I've seen it on there and just hadn't tried it yet. But
yeah, let's start again.
I didn't realize it was Bag Builder, so let's do it.
Oh.
Looks good. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk about Jokkmokk?
Jokkmokk, the winter market. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a board game.
It is a board game.
Do you have rules?
Let's go over the rules.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I did rules music in the background while you went over the rules.
You're not actually singing the rules music though. We can try something different this time.
What's some Scandinavian like sounds?
Yodeling, but yodeling's more. I don't know.
I could put the
Price is
the
Right.
Swedish Chef in the background. The Swedish Chef music. Does he have the theme song?
No, but the Price is Right. Yodeler.
Yeah, Yeah, something like that.
All right, Tyson, go while he's doing the rules.
All right. Jokkmokk is designed by Henrik Larsson with art done by Christina Hegerfors and published by WizKids. In Jokkmokk, you play as a family visiting a cozy Swedish winter market. Move your family to the different market stalls and collect different sets of cards that will give you the loveliest winter market experience. The family with the most points at the end of the game has had the most successful day. To play Jokkmokk, the game board is placed in the middle of the table and each player takes 2 family members. The first player places one of their family members on the market entrance slot. Then, in clockwise order, each player will then place a family member in the next available slot. Once each player has placed a family member, starting with the last player, each player will place their second family member. Sets of cards are then selected based on what you would like to play in the current game. Sets of cards can include hot dogs, presents, parts of a patchwork quilt, antiques, Dalecarlian horses, and a number of other things. Each set of cards will score differently during the middle of the game and at the end of the game. All sets of cards are collected and separated into morning cards and evening cards. The 2 decks are then shuffled separately. From the morning deck, each empty slot is filled in with cards. Place the decks on the game board and you're ready to play. To play Jokkmokk, the player who has one of their family members furthest back will move that family to any card and claim the card that they moved to, resolving any effects on that card. You then refill any spots that are empty and it becomes the next player's turn, who is furthest back. The trick of Jokkmokk is determining how far you want to move to get the card you want. The further you move, the longer it will take for you to take another turn with that family member. Players continue selecting cards until the morning deck runs out. Once the morning deck runs out, cards are taken from the evening deck to refill empty spots. As soon as a player claims a card from the evening deck, mid-game scoring is triggered for any cards that have mid-game scoring. Play will then continue until all cards have been claimed. Players then score points for their cards. Points are scored from points in the top left corner of the card, end-game scoring conditions on the card, and from points tokens earned during the game. The player that has the most points is the winner. That's a quick rundown of how to play. Let's get back to the table to see what we thought of Jokkmokk.
It's been a while since we've done a feature review. Like 6 months.
It has been a long
looking at
time.
the things here. Thanks, Kevin, for the rules overview of Jokkmokk, the game that we're reviewing today. To start our review, the way we usually do a feature review is we go over the production of the game. We talk about the gameplay, the things we like, we don't like, and then we'll talk about our overall final thoughts of this. And I, at this point, don't even remember what our scale is because it's been so long.
I remember. Totally remember. It's 1 to 100.
It's got to be 1 to 5, right? That's what it is.
1
Or was
to
it like
100.
to 1,000, like batting percentage in Major League?
Please no. Please no.
Baseball.
We can make that change.
We can, and I don't think I'll like it. But yes, we'll come up with a score from 1 to 100 for this game as our final thoughts. Let's start by talking about the production of this game and what we think about it as a game as a whole. Anybody want to kick us off on that?
I think the production's fantastic.
I do too.
I think it's very Scandinavian. It's
The art's amazing.
the art's amazing.
It's just
The
fun.
colors are fun, vibrant. The card quality is good.
Yeah, you didn't
know.
even sleeve it.
I haven't even sleeved it yet. I don't know why that is. I think I probably will end up sleeving it, but I think it's great. I think
Essentially, it's
fantastic.
just cards for the most part.
With a little board.
There's
in
a
the middle.
board, and then there's a standee individual that walks
Cardboard
around,
standee.
and a couple of meeples, right?
Yeah.
And a few cardboard tokens for like
Couple of things,
mid-round
yeah.
scoring or mid-game scoring.
Yep.
But I think it's really nice. And it's distinct and functional in a lot of ways. I think that each card has a day and a night phase card on it, and it's very easy. They have symbols on the front of the card, and on the back it's a different artwork to know what it is. It's really easy for cleanup and tear down. I will say that the one thing that I don't necessarily love about the production is the amount of time for how short of a gameplay this is. The amount of time it takes to set up this game can be a little detractor. It's not that big of a deal.
Boo.
It is a process to set up this game.
A little bit, but not a difficult process by any means.
and I do like that for each set of cards, they have a card that explains the rules for
Yes.
those type of cards.
That is
And-
awesome.
Easily passed around or left on the table.
And I also like that the rules come with suggested sets of cards to use, because you can play with whatever 6 sets you want.
You can do whatever you want, right?
You can, but it's cool that they suggest different groupings of them.
And the rules
and
suggest...
that's getting away a little bit from...
Yeah.
But it's part of the rules and part of the presentation, right?
Yeah, well, it kind of bleeds into what we like about the game, which I think is coming up next.
I get that what you're saying. It does take a little bit to
I'm
set
just
up.
saying, directly in comparison to the amount of time it takes to play, it is probably... we have sat there and thought, let's play Jokkmokk late at night, right? And then I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I love Jokkmokk. Let's play it. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, yeah. We started this at 11 o'clock or 11:30, and 15 minutes have gone by to sort these cards and shuffle them. And now we're just getting started. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how you put the game away, right? You may have to shuffle into the morning cards, evening cards. You got to pick whatever decks you want to play. Yeah,
it takes a minute.
It's minor. It takes a minute. This is a nitpick.
I think that the variability,
the trade-off value
in the game,
absolutely.
the trade-off for the variability of what you get is well worth the additional setup, right?
Yeah, I think you're 100%.
It does take a minute to start going.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it like, if you're looking for a quick game that you're going to jump right in and start playing, there's a little setup in here, but it's totally agreed. That was going to be my follow-up, is because there's such variability in this game, it makes it worth the setup time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a few things we like.
Yeah, let's talk about the gameplay of this game and what we like about this game. Tyler, why don't you start us off with what is it that you like about Jokkmokk?
So I like, every time I play, I feel like there are different strategies to go for with the cards that are out there. But one of the things I like is if you advance too far to get a card that you really want, then you are delaying your next turn with that meeple. And so if you go too far ahead of the pack, there's a big trade-off there, right? Yeah. I love that decision. There are cards that you really want that are available, but if you advance too far, then you're going to be waiting for a while.
Yeah, but it's like the trade-off, right? Like there's a juicy lantern, right, that has 2 5s that are going to match up with 2 5s. That's 10 points, which that's pretty good, right? Or it could be 15 points because you're matching up the 3, right? However, right? So it could be 30 points. It's like, whoa, okay.
Or you're playing with the Aurora.
Is it worth it for me to jump over all these other cards just to get that card? Or like a little bit of hate drafting, right? I know somebody else wants that card. Do I jump ahead because I know it's going to be really good for Tyson and what he's going for?
I feel like at times we've played this game and I've been the target of some of the hate drafting.
Probably.
Every single time it feels like Tyson wins. And we should really just start going for him.
Yeah, I agree with
going after him at the start.
Agreed.
This has a little element of table talk to it. This
it does,
game
totally.
Which,
I love it.
Which I like, because you could like try and direct some of the hate towards somebody else and be like, no, it's clearly you need to take care of this situation that's going on
that's
over
fun,
here.
Right?
I love that element of it.
And there are negative cards that you don't want. It's not just about trying to get the optimal cards for your strategy. It's also trying to avoid potential negative cards that may be in the set of 6 cards that you're playing.
Yeah, like who's going to get the surströmming and then
who's going to stuck in the line.
And the queue.
The queue, yeah.
That kind of leads into a thing that I really enjoy about the game is how thematic the cards are, right? The hot dog card just cracks me up, right? Because if you get the most hot dog symbols, then all of your hot dogs are worth half the points, right? Which is probably you're getting sick and you're puking up your hot dogs or something, right? So you want to get a lot of hot dogs, but just a little bit less than the person that has the most hot dogs, right?
Yeah.
Which I think that card in particular is very thematic. But there's also other cards like the queue. You can't go past that card.
You have to wait in line.
You have to wait in line, right? You can't jump ahead. You got to go to the queue. And
you don't want to get stuck in line. And like nobody likes being in line. It's great.
Yeah, the skating card. You pick up that card and your other guy skates to another place. I think they did a really good job tying in theme to some of these cards, which is really cool.
Yeah,
which is kind of surprising for like at face value. You may not see that as being it's a simple card game kind of a thing. You may not see that there is such thought in that, but like it really is there. One of the things that I really like from this game that is a subtle thing, and it goes to some of this table talk that we were just talking about as well, is that you are required to have your cards in front of you that you are collecting available for everybody to see, but only the top card for most sets has to be visible. So like there is a memory element to this game, and if you can pay attention, then you can keep track of that. But you can also divert people from paying attention. For example, in our last game, we played with hot dogs.
Oh, I was counting wieners the whole time.
Same.
Yes.
Well, and that was the thing, is that like I think Kevin challenged me. He was like, "There's no way you know how many hot dogs everybody has," and I was like, "This is exactly how many you have, and this is how many Tyler has."
I knew I didn't have the most, and I was like,
yes, "I'm safe. I'm perfectly fine for taking this really high scoring hot dog for me," and it worked out.
So the hot dogs, yes, I was not paying attention. They're a little bit easier to track. The snowflakes, on the other hand, there is not a chance you're going to be able to track the snowflakes, which adds a little bit of a different dynamic.
You have a slight chance because they're scored at the halfway point in the game. And so you can I'm not going to go for red anymore because Tyson's got 10.
Yes, right.
To memorize all 6 or 7 colors or whatever,
Yeah. Well, that's another interesting thing is the mid-game scoring, right?
Because only a few sets of the cards score at mid-game.
Right.
And you may not even, might be playing a game that doesn't even have those.
Yep.
Any of those in a game. So
which we've done.
I think it's interesting. Like some of the cards that you take, you just stack on top and they're just point accumulation, right? But there's other ones that have little mini puzzles, a little mini game where you're drafting this card, and then like if it's one of the quilt cards,
and
you're trying to find the right place for it to go as you build out this space in front of you. So there's some of the cards are just straight points and you put them in a stack, and other ones you're building something and there's a little mini game there that just adds just a little bit more flavor to the game.
Yeah. And you see what people are building.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Tyson's going after the quilt strategy, and it makes just a little bit harder of a decision on what you're going to draft because I went after the quilt strategy. I think maybe the first or second time we played, and you guys
ran away with it.
You guys didn't do any of that, and I was able to just get this massive quilt and score a ton of points, right? But it makes a decision. It's like, okay, I'm going after lanterns, but maybe I should start doing quilts because I don't want that other person to run away with it.
What's the pyramid one that you built?
That's the lantern.
That's the lanterns. Yeah, that's the lanterns.
There's a couple of card sets that are like that where you're building out something.
Yeah, which is really cool. Yeah.
And when they're like that, in particular, I think the quilt and the lanterns is a good example of this because those are the two sets that really you can see every card, right? You don't have to conceal it in the stack, and you don't only get to see the top card, but you can see everything that they're working on. So it's very easy to quickly calculate how many points they have, which is also, again, contributes to that tabletop talk because you can be like, look how many points Tyler is scoring off of lanterns right now.
Exactly.
Right?
And then you team up against that person, or at least you try to do that.
Or you stick them with negative points.
But that's exactly what I love is because it contributes to the desire for that hate draft, and it reminds me in some ways of the type of hate draft that you do in like Azul, right? Where like you can't blame somebody for hate drafting you for that thing because
sticking someone with 4 blue tiles that they got to put in there.
You're very aware that it was a good move. Yes, I like that. It's not a mean hate draft kind of
it doesn't
experience.
feel bad at all, I don't think.
Yeah. I think it's great.
Anything we don't like about it?
I have one thing. There was one thing that
negative left and right over there.
I want to be a conscientious observer of what is going on here and give a fair assessment.
This is like the worst game ever in your mind, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's terrible. No, the only thing that I don't like about this is the same thing I don't like about Darwin's Journey, is that the point track in this game goes up to 50, and you can score well above 50. And like, in fact, I think we got somewhere like over 200 in one of our most recent games. And
sometimes you're scoring like 65 points with one card set score.
Exactly, because you're scoring one set at a time, and you're trying to keep track of that.
Okay, I go around once to 50. I'm back where I was before. I got to take this 50-point marker to make sure I understand how far I that there may have been a better swhen to the scoring.
Again, it's not a critical thing, and it doesn't impact gameplay whatsoever, but it is that when at the end of the game when you're trying to get to that point where who won the game, it's the okay, we got to process this. And did I score that right? Or did I mess that up?
You could completely ignore the score track and
just
use
calculate
a
it.
scoring pad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Maybe a score pad would have been a better way to do
that's
it.
what I was just going to say. I think that could be a good way. And the BGA the BG Stats app does have score pad stuff in there that we used in one of our more recent ones that I thought was.
I think a score pad would be better because then you just go through each set of cards. How many do you score?
And then
the card
it
itself,
totals.
how many do you score for the bonus, and
what are their mid-game scoring?
is there mid-game scoring? Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, sure.
Nice. We came up with a better solution.
See?
There you go.
See, now I'm not super negative because you guys jumped on the bandwagon.
I don't see anything wrong with this game, really.
No,
I have no negatives at all. I put down a neutral item, and it's what you brought up earlier, is that it takes a little bit to set up and a little bit to take down for the weight of the game. That in my mind is a neutral point. It's something to be aware of. It's not a negative in my mind, but it does take a little bit. But like we talked about, the variability, I think, far outweighs the little bit extra setup time. But yeah, I don't have anything real negative. You got anything, Tyler?
I'm trying to think of something, and I've got nothing. I have loved every single play and think this is a fantastic game. So
yeah,
I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head or when I was putting my thoughts together.
I do have one negative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have something after you say that.
There's no expansion.
Yes.
That is the
I was going to say that. I was going to say this game is ripe for more like promo sets or expansion where, I mean, it's already got 15, 16 different sets of cards that you get.
Yeah.
That you already have a near infinite combination.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
At least in relation to the number of times that you're going to get this to the table over the life of the game in your collection, right? That's awesome. I look forward and hope that we get more promo sets or expansions that add 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 new, sets of cards and new scoring mechanisms, because I think the base mechanic of the game is fantastic and I love the variability, but at some point we're going to want more sets of cards to play with.
I ran across a thread on Board Game Geek where the designer was talking about potential expansions, and somebody asked, "Well, is there going to be expansions?" It's like, well, if the game is popular enough, I've got all kinds of cards ready to go. Yeah. So there's go out and buy this game.
That's
right?
my concern.
I bought my copy.
Is that it's going to be an underrated game.
Yeah.
It's going to fly under the radar for some people, and if that's the case, that's a shame because this game has such potential.
Yeah. Agreed.
So let's talk about what our final thoughts are then on this. Let's wrap this up with our scores from scale of 1 to 100, and our final thoughts. Kevin, do you want to kick us off with that?
Yeah. This game's fantastic for all the reasons we talked about. I love the variability. I love how thematic it is. I bought this game because of the theme. I didn't know anything about it. I'm like, I spent some time in Sweden. I'm like, this is a Swedish game. I love the art. It's the Swedish winter market, and then played it and was so pleasantly surprised because of the gameplay. And I think the gameplay is fantastic. Like we've talked about, I love how thematic the cards are. I love the decision on how far ahead you go. The different decks and how you throw those in. It's very, the variability is off the charts. So I think it's great. It's a lightweight game that I think is going to get a lot of play, and it's going to come out a lot on my table. So as far as final rating goes, I'm going to give this an 87.
Nice.
I think is what I'm going to give.
Sidney Crosby.
There you go.
Not Swedish.
No, he is not Canadian. That wasn't why I said 87, but hey, that's
hockey season.
It's hockey season. We're going to tie it into hockey. But yeah, 87. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Nice.
Yep. Who's up next?
I looked just a second ago on Board Game Oracle. This game is hard to find. So I bought a copy. I haven't had it shipped yet, but it is hard to find. So whether that is a supply issue or it's just become really popular, I hope it's the latter.
And maybe in between print runs?
Yep, maybe. I love this game. I absolutely can't wait to get this in my collection. I have enjoyed every play. I love the variability. I love the theming, the art. I have never been to Sweden. I have a lot of Swedish ancestry. I don't know. I love this game. I love the experience. I think it's fantastic. I don't have anything negative to say about it. It kind of saddens me that this has not gotten more recognition. I feel like this could be a Spiel des Jahres contender.
I agree with that.
Yep. And I think it's a fantastic family weight game that has enough strategy that you can play this at your game night with your friends, or you can play it with your family. You could play this with younger kids. It's a fantastic game. I've loved every experience that I've had with it. Tyson trounces us every time we play, and Kevin did that first time with all the quilts.
Right.
But like, I get excited at the thought of playing this game. I'm going to go with 91.
Oh, nice.
For what it
Love
is.
it.
Like,
love it. For what it is, yes.
Yeah, it's a 91 for me. There is little to no improvement that I can see in this game, and it's just awesome. I can't wait to get it played more.
Love it.
Yeah, I think this is a fantastic game. I love every play of it. Even having the conversation here, I'm finding myself excited to get it out. Like having this conversation, I want to play it. Some of the things that I think are most fantastic about this game is that it sets up a situation in which you are invested in the turns of everybody around you, and you are watching what they're doing because you want to ensure that you're getting whatever is best for you. And it's not like you're invested in their turns and you're trying to keep it secret. There is plenty of opportunity for you to have the trash talk and moments of just like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, why would you take that? Like,
or you're counting hot dogs.
Let Kevin get that card?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The hate draft potential,
Yes,
the
that's awesome.
the potential for like manipulation or like
somebody into the queue.
yeah. Exactly.
Sucker, you're in line now.
There are just fun moments in this game that I think are fantastic. So at the end of the day, my rating is the exact same as yours. It's a 90, which is the same as an 87 or a 91. I love this game.
In denial.
For what it is, it is a near perfect game. I agree. Like the biggest downside is that there's not more content already available for this game.
But I don't think we've gotten to the point where that affects us yet.
No, because we're still having fun. We're still seeing the combinations of things.
Right.
I can think of different sets that I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that one and that one together, and I could see that being interesting, particularly when they're like the bad ones, like the Q or
you get
Surströmming.
the Q and Surströmming together. It's like
This will make for an interesting experience.
you got stuck in line, and I'm giving you Surströmming.
Yeah. It might feel a little like After the Empire.
It's going to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
But it's a great game.
Awesome. So clearly we're big fans of it here. So
Yeah, we all gave it a 90, so it's great.
I'm lowest at 87. But
No, you gave it a 90.
You're rounding up. So there you go.
Nice. Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
We should do more feature reviews, maybe.
Maybe we should. We got away with it like we talked about before a little bit. But
I think it's much more doable with lighter weight games. Maybe we'll
I agree.
focus a little more on those in the future.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Should we get into our holiday gift guide?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Is this a draft and you can't pick the same game as someone else, or?
I'm
I hope
prepared
not.
for that.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
Because it makes it more interesting.
It'll be on the fly then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm
All right.
prepared for that.
So we've picked a number of categories for a holiday gift guide.
Yeah.
And I think we're just going to go through them one by one and give our recommendations.
Should we do a preview of what those categories are before we start? Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
what are
think
those
we should point out
categories?
that
Let's do it.
Jokkmokk is the winter market, and we are telling you to go to the winter market, right? Like,
Right.
We want. I think it's a perfect connection here.
It is a perfect connection.
So now, what can you buy?
Stocking stuffer. That is number one. We'll talk about a gateway game. What's a good gateway game to give somebody? Family or party game, another category. Gamer game. So if somebody's super into games, what do you get them? For the gamer who has all games. A game to donate, best bang for your buck, and we will round it off with the best white elephant gift.
Okay, so we've
right.
got 8
We do.
total. That is 24 games we got to get through.
Let's get going.
Now,
Are we randomizing which ones we're doing? Or what was the die for?
the die is for who drafts first.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be snake draft, right?
But yeah, you could randomize the category
I
as
need
well.
an 8-sided die for that. Do you got one of those over there?
Randomizing the categories.
I got a 12-sided and I got a 4-sided.
All right, I rolled a 3.
What does that mean? Okay, so whoever gets highest? Or
Highest
lowest?
is
Highest drafts first.
drafts first.
Highest draft first, okay.
4.
I don't want to be first.
There's 6.
Okay.
I want to be first if it's a certain category.
Okay. So you're first.
All right.
Stocking stuffer?
Stocking stuffer. Yeah, let's just go straight down the list.
All right. That's fine. I will point out that on these choices, my gift guide is for the 2024 gift season. So like mostly my releases are in 2023, 2024.
Oh, I did not make that.
We never discussed
distinction.
that, but I wanted to these are newish games, so
Making
like
us
that's
look
what I
bad.
wanted to.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
What I wanted to stick to. So for my stocking stuffer, this is a game that I have played recently 8 times, and I've only played it on BGA. I just bought it myself, and it's called Odin. Odin is a card shedding game. I'm going to say the dreaded, it's a ladder game.
I was just wondering that.
I love ladder games.
But like, I actually think that this is one that Tyler might actually enjoy. So what Odin is it is a game in which thematically it really has no real theme other than there's Vikings. It has a number of different suits on each card of varying colors. And then on these cards, there's a value that ranges from 1 to 9. And what you're trying to do is every round, you are trying to get rid of your cards. Everybody starts with 15 points in the game. You have a number of cards that you're dealt. You are trying to get rid of all of your cards. The way that you can get rid of cards is you can put, whoever puts a card down first has to put 1 card down. So the ladder thing is that if somebody put down 1 card, the next player can play 1 or 2 cards. By doing this, they can discard up to 2 cards. But when you discard cards, you have to take one of the cards that was already on the table. So say I discarded a black 5 for my first turn. Tyler goes next and he discards 2 cards of a different color. He has to take the black 5 that remains on there. So you're trying to maximize it. And you can discard cards that are of the same suit, or you can discard cards that are of the same value. So 3 9s, you can discard those. And as you're going through this game, you have to continue taking cards, but you're trying to maximize how many cards you're getting rid of. You have to play a card that is higher in value than the last card played unless you're going up to the next rung on the ladder. So 2 cards instead of 1, 3 cards instead of 2, etc. This game plays really quick. I've played most of my games on BGA real time, and I've played it in 10 to 15 minutes. It goes over several rounds, and the game ends when somebody has lost all their points. So kind of like cockroach poker, right? Like there is not necessarily one winner, but there is a definitive one loser. And there is one winner because the person who has the most points at the end is going to be the winner. So you're trying to hold on to as many points as you can. It reminds me of, like I said, cockroach poker, but also Llama to some extent. And I really enjoy this game. And I think it makes for a perfect stocking stuffer. It's only cards. So that is my stocking stuffer choice.
All right. So my stocking stuffer is a game from Pandasaurus. It's designed by Stefan Nokolik. And my criteria was it's got to fit in a stocking, right? You're going to stuff the stocking.
Yeah.
It's not going to be
subjective.
It's not going to be.
How big are your stockings?
Normal size.
Okay.
Normal size stocking. Okay. This game is Splitter. I love this game. This is it's one of the easiest games you'll ever play. You roll dice, and then you get 2 numbers, and there is a sheet of paper that is split in half. It's mirrored on both sides, and you have to put 1 number on one side and the mirror on the other side, you have to place the other number. You're trying to get sets of numbers together. If there's 2, you want to get 2 2s together. If there's 3s, you want to get 3 3s together. That's the only way that they're going to score. There's a few bonus areas where you double the value. And you roll dice until you fill in your whole sheet, and then you calculate points, and whoever has the most points wins. That is the game. It is so much fun to play. You're trying not to get yourself in a bad spot, similar to what I talked about in Trek 12. You're trying not to get in a bad spot, give yourself the best opportunity to score a lot of points, but inevitably, at the end of the game, you're like, I need a 6. Please roll a 6. And sometimes you get it. Sometimes you don't. There's, good cheering moments at the end if everything works out for you. And then there's times, it's happened many times to me where it just falls apart at the end and you don't get what you need, But it's always a fun experience, right? I think it's a great roll and write game. And if you want to throw it in somebody's stocking, I think it would be a good choice.
This was on my short list for stocking stuffers, but I figured one of you two would absolutely take it. So
you thought someone when I was saying
you were correct.
I figured Tyler had it on his list, and I was a little surprised it was on yours, Kevin. But
I like it.
I know you like it. Yeah,
I think it's great. So that's my stocking stuffer.
So my stocking stuffer would fit in my stocking. It is 9 inches by 9 inches by 2 inches. So it's a little bit bigger, but not too bad.
Okay, all right.
It could get shoved
if you
in
got
there.
a big stocking, you can just shove it in there.
it's hanging out of the top. Yeah,
I haven't actually played this game, but I've played
How are you recommending it?
because I've played a game that it re-implements.
Oh,
Okay. So this is Boop the Halls.
Oh,
So
Boop.
it
I
is
like it.
a Christmas-themed game of Boop, where in the original Boop, you're trying to knock other people's cats off of the bed.
That's
right?
a good game.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
a
it.
2-player game designed by Scott Brady. This is published by Smirk and Dagger. In this one, it looks really cool. It is a 4-tiered Christmas tree that you're trying to either
Knock the
line
ornaments off.
up your cats. You can win by that way, 3 of your cats in a row, or knocking off 3 ornaments of your opponents. So I think it looks really fun, cute Christmas holiday theme, and I would love to find this in my stocking.
Love it.
That is Boop the Halls.
Yep.
All right, what are we on to next?
Next category is
gateway games.
So this is going to be really easy. My gateway game. Oh, sorry. I had a price recommendation. $21.97 at Game Nerds for Boop the Halls.
Splitter is $11.47. By the way.
I got mine from Boardlandia, and it was $9.35.
Nice.
It's okay.
My gateway game, when I put these notes together, came in at $26.59 at Card House. It is Jokkmokk, the Winter Market.
Oh,
Enough
okay. Enough said. That's all we need to talk about. All right. My gateway game. I didn't think my turn was going to be so quick. So I'm looking up the information on this one really quick. This is designed by Mike Fitzgerald, published by, at least the copy I have is by Stronghold Games. This is Diamonds. So when I think of gateway games, a lot of people grew up playing trick-taking games, right? I know I did.
Yeah.
So teaching somebody a variation of a trick-taking game, I think is a natural thing to do, right? They understand the concept already, and then you can throw in, okay, this game is a trick-taking game. It has basic concepts, but it throws in a few different things, right?
Yeah.
So I think trick-taking games lend themselves very well to teaching new people, right? So Diamonds is one. Other ones I thought of, right, are like Inside Job, Rebel Princess, The Crew. They're all trick-taking games. These are not my picks, right?
No, yeah.
But they all.
I'm hoping you listed
not.
one of Tyson so he can't use it.
Yeah, right. But I'm choosing Diamonds. So Diamonds is really cool because when you lose a trick,
You still get a benefit.
you still get a benefit, right? If you win the trick, you get that benefit. You're collecting cards, and if you get the most of any suit at the end of a round, you get a benefit. So you're trying to collect these diamonds. You're trying to put them in your vault. If you get them behind your vault, they're worth more points. If they're in front of your vault, they're worth points, but they also can be stolen by other players if they get an action that steals them. I've had fun playing this game. Every time we play it, we have a blast. My family loves it. Like I said, I think it lends itself to teaching new people about games. So I think it's a very good gateway game. So that is my choice for gateway. Diamonds.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
So because you mentioned Mike Fitzgerald,
Yeah.
I felt fairly confident I'd be safe with mine. But I chose for my gateway game, and you might give me some crap on this, but we'll see.
We probably will.
Skyrise as my gateway game.
Okay.
I think when you look at the weight of this game, it's a 2.2 on BGG. It is a very lightweight game. I do believe that this game is very accessible to pretty much anybody, and that's why I put it on as a gateway game. Essentially, what it is it's an auction bid style game, and you're trying to do some territory control on the map. It's very simple, easy to get into, easy to explain, but there's a fair amount of depth of strategy to it that is really good. We've talked about this game. We've reviewed this game this year a lot, and the production value is beautiful. This is a gorgeous game that whether or not you get the retail or the Kickstarter version,
They both look great.
would be a great thing to receive and have like on Christmas to introduce people to. I've played this game with my wife, who is not a big gamer, and she was like, yeah, we're keeping that one because I understood that one. That one's simple, quick, and I could see myself playing it. Her criteria is, can I watch TV while playing a board game? And she felt confident she could do that with this. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that with this game, but like she felt like you could. So I felt like this was a good gateway game, and my recommendation as your gateway game pick for 2024 holiday season.
I like it. That's good. A little heavier, but I like it.
I love the game, and I don't disagree that it's not a. I agree that it could be considered a gateway game.
Yeah, for sure. That's good.
I mean,
we're not.
it's a fantastic game.
We're not going to give you
Tyson.
crap about that. We've talked about it a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
I love the game.
I didn't feel like that was rule breaking.
Good.
Every time I play it, I like it more. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. Good choice. You're up next for family party game.
That's right.
Did you guys want to say what the price is, or do you not
Yeah,
have price?
Diamonds was $18.97 at Game Nerds, but I don't have a price yet.
That's okay. We can move on.
That's fine. How much is Jokkmokk? Oh, you can't really find it, right?
No, it was. I got it for 26.
Nice.
I see
Okay.
on Card House for Skyrise, Card House Games, it's $49.99. I know how it works. It's just, if you're okay
Do
with
you?
it, I'm
Do
okay
you?
with it. Because this is the one I wanted first choice on anyway. The family party game.
Family
No,
party game.
I skipped the category. Crap, I'm screwed. All right.
Family party game. What is it?
All right, so my family party game pick for this holiday season would be the game Mantis. We've talked about this game.
Nice.
Essentially, it's just a deck of cards that you're trying to... It's described as it has the simplicity of Uno, but the depth of gin rummy. It's designed to be played with kids and adults. What I really like about this game is it plays up to 6 players, and it's very simple. You can see the cards that are coming. On each card, the back of it has the potential for what the face of the card is, and you're trying to match suits, but you're putting those in front of you, and you're trying to earn a certain amount of points. But players can steal the cards that are in front of you, which, as a family party game, I feel like it's a really fun kind of experience that lends itself to, similar to what we've talked about with Jokkmokk. There's some table talk and there's some fun kind of, hey, you can't take that pile from me. Look at how many cards so-and-so has over there. You've got to go take that. So I think it's a really fun game. It plays in about 10 minutes. Maybe a little bit longer depending on how many players you have, but it's a really fun game. Highly recommend as a good family game of pick or a party game pick. Mantis.
I like it. All right, my family / party game. I've referenced it briefly already. This is Rebel Princess. I love
This could have been under the last category.
It could have been. It's another trick taker, right? But so my sister-in-law reached out to me and said, hey, my mom wants to get a game for everybody. What game would you recommend? And I'm like, I think Rebel Princess would be a fantastic pick to give your family, right?
Yeah. Especially if they played Hearts.
Yeah, if they played Hearts, then you're going to pick up on this quickly, right? I played this game for the first time with my family over Thanksgiving, and it was one of those games where we played it, and they're like, "We've got to play again immediately." They just loved it so much, right? We got to see what other cards, the round cards there are, because the round cards are amazing. And I think that's the best part of the game, right? Is the round cards completely switch how the game is played.
Yep.
Makes you think about it in a different way. It's like, now, okay, the highest card's not going to win this trick. The second highest card's going to win this trick. And it completely just makes your brain hurt about how you're going to get that to work, which I love. And I think it's awesome. So that's my choice. You can find it at Game Nerds for $17.97. I believe that's maybe the deluxe version. I don't know. There's two versions. There's a non-deluxe and then there's deluxe. The deluxe just adds the princesses have cardboard, they're cardboard pieces instead of cards.
Scoring pad.
And there's a score pad. So if that's important to you, pick up the deluxe version. If it's not, then go for the normal version. You're going to love it regardless, like either way, I think. So that's Rebel Princess. We've talked about it on the podcast before, so I'm not going to go into depth about it.
Very recently. Yep. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Absolutely.
As is Tyson's recommendation of Mantis.
Which, by the way, I forgot to mention the price on that one. You can find it at Target or online, generally between $15 and $20.
Yeah, I think I got it on sale at Walmart in Fort Collins for like $10 while we were up there at a condo. So fantastic little game. Rebel Princess, we've been talking about that a lot lately.
Love it.
Love that.
Yep.
For my party game, I'm going to go all the way back to 2010. Okay.
Whoa.
This game is not in print. You are going to have to find it on eBay for $20 to $35 if you want this game. It is called Sounds Like a Plan. It came out in 2010, published by Gamewright, designers Joyce Johnson, Colleen McCarthy Evans. While over the Thanksgiving break, I was at my brother's house out of town. We didn't actually play Sounds Like a Plan, but he's the only one that I know that has a copy of this. And so I was reminded of our plays of this game, okay? This game is fantastic. So it's one of those games where someone reads a prompt, they have a card, and there's three choices, like balance my checkbook, fix a leak on the Hoover Dam, or have tea with the Queen, right? So whoever's turn it is to read the card and make the selection, they'll pick one of those prompts. They'll roll a die that has different values on it. And depending on the prompt and what the die is, you try to give the best answer, right? And then, like it's apples to apples. What's the one that has highly inappropriate cards?
Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity. Mm-hmm. Even the base game, like some of those cards are like, wow, really? Okay. Anyway, but so in this one, the die values are like the best, the worst suggestion, pick the advice that grandma would give, pick the advice a kid would give, the judge. There's a wild one, and then another one, physic. The judge doesn't reveal which task they're going to do, and everybody just submits a card. Not only are they just pick, and in some of those games, you just pick a winner. In this game, you rank the top 5. So you pick the top 5 best cards. The top card gets 5 points. Whoever had the lowest of those 5 gets just 1 point, right? I love this game. I have so many fond memories of playing Sounds Like a Plan. It's like those games, Cards Against Humanity, Apples to Apples, but it has a fun twist with the die and just, I don't know. I love this game. It's a fantastic family game.
It sounds fantastic. The only thing I'm concerned about is that Tyler's just created an Arnold Schwarzenegger Jingle All the Way kind of a situation here where the availability is very limited. So now if listeners are all trying to find it, they're going to have to fight people to get it.
I currently have an email chain going with someone on BGG. They haven't responded. I was like, hey, how much to send Sounds Like a Plan to here? And they gave me the quote, and then I was like, hey, what's your PayPal? And I haven't responded yet. So I'm trying to currently purchase the game because I love this game.
So you're Arnold Schwarzenegger in this situation.
Yeah, it's possible, yeah.
So moral of the story is go out and try to find it as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I could there are multiple copies on eBay. I figured I'd get a nicer quality copy on BGG. I don't know.
Nice.
But fantastic, great family game, plays up to 8 players. I don't see any reason why you couldn't play with more. So that was my family party game.
Now we're going to
Gamer game.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, this one comes in at $96 on Game Nerds and Boardlandia.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else right now, and that is Voidfall by Mind Clash Games. That's just it has to be that answer for me this year. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
a good one.
If you want all of our thoughts, and go listen to our Voidfall feature review episode and enjoy that, because it's a fantastic gamer's game.
Yep. All right. Good choice. I like it.
Do not pick my second, my backup. To
so
Voidfall.
I knocked out your first pick?
Voidfall was my first pick, and I feel like Kevin's going to knock out my second pick.
No, probably not. So I went back. So I put this list together, and then I'm like, what did we pick last time? Right? Because I didn't want to do any crossover there. Turns out I picked the same game as I did last time, and I'm keeping it.
What?
Right? Yeah, because it's awesome.
You can't do that.
Who says I can't do that? So this game has had a little bit of a resurgence for me and for our group because of a recently fulfilled Kickstarter. Right? That is Teotihuacan.
Oh, awesome!
This game is so good. Tyson finally got to play it on the table,
and sucks.
But do you like the game?
I liked it on the table, and now the amount of times I've been doing terrible at BGA makes me think I need to play it back on the table again.
So we got some games on the table, and the production is great on the fulfilled Kickstarter. I think I've really been enjoying that. They have announced another Kickstarter in January, which is going to offer the same thing they did before, plus a actual insert that is not terrible. But you can. So the game is widely available. You can get it on I think Game Nerds for $41, right? And the base retail edition, it looks fantastic, right? Mm-hmm. So if you don't have the Kickstarter, you don't have all the upgraded bits, I don't think it matters. I think the production is fantastic. The art's fantastic. The gameplay is just great. There's tons of expansions. So if you want to get expansions for that gamer, throw in some expansions.
And they're very modularized.
They are. They're very modular. There's the priests and priestesses that give variable player powers, which I think is a must. So you should get that expansion. There's the Seasons expansion that adds just one card to every.
It takes like 10 seconds to figure out. And
exactly. But it adds so much depth to the game and so much to it. If you like the physical version, then it's on BGA, like Tyson mentioned, and you can play that. That's
digital version?
The digital version.
You said physical version on BGA.
If you like the physical version, then you can play the digital version.
I understand now.
On BGA, right? Which is just the base game. But I have over 100 plays on BGA of this one. And we're currently in a game that's awesome. I'm doing fairly well in the game. The game before that, Tyler played and just destroyed everybody. But it
doesn't happen very often.
But it's always a fun experience.
I kind of forgot to play BGA at all today. It's just been one of those days.
So. Well, you had other things going on. So. Yeah. So I think fantastic game. This is from Board and Dice. Designed by
Daniela Ticini.
Yep. Published by Board and Dice. So
nice.
That is my choice. 2 lists in a row, but I think it's a fantastic game.
I didn't know we could do that.
I didn't either.
Hey, it's our podcast. We do
whatever
we
drafted.
We can do whatever we want.
Hey, the other last time too. that draft.
It's obviously a good recommendation. It's on a multi-year list,
right?
Or lists from multiple years.
That's what I thought as well.
And I feel like it did re-release sort of.
That's
this
why.
year.
Yes, right. Okay,
we'll allow it.
You'll allow. Oh well, geez, thanks guys.
It follows the criteria, I suppose. A game that was only released this year that I am recommending as my gamer's game choice for the holiday season is A Gest of Robin Hood. I picked this as Voidfall would have been my first recommendation, but A Gest for Robin Hood, I've had so much fun with this game as a 2-player game. It is a lot of fun. It's designed by Fred Serval and published by GMT Games. It was my first real exposure to a coin game, and I think it is a fantastic entry point into that. We've talked about this game a number of times, but I think that if you have a gamer who likes Robin Hood and likes some sort of asymmetry in their play, this is a really good experience.
A lot of asymmetry in their play.
Alternatively, if people like Sheriff of Nottingham, also a good choice.
Yeah, for a Gamers Game? That's the one you're choosing for Gamers Game?
No. I mean, the Sheriff of Nottingham. You said people who like Robin Hood, people who like Sheriff of Nottingham.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant the board game,
the game.
Sheriff of Nottingham.
No, that's a terrible game. I hate that game.
That's why we were confused.
Yeah. You do have the option to be Sheriff of Nottingham or Robin Hood in this.
Yeah, playing as Robin Hood sucks.
Do we
still have a game of this?
No, you
going?
finally lost.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think playing as Robin Hood sucks. I've won both ways.
I only have
Robin
one
Hood
play as
Sheriff.
Robin Hood, and I got a couple rounds into it and was like, I don't even know what's going on. But I love playing as Sheriff.
Go for 2 months and decided not to take a turn.
I have a number of victories as the Sheriff, and I enjoyed those plays, but the Robin Hood I just didn't latch on
I loved
to.
his causing chaos as Robin Hood.
That's exactly.
Right? And
it's
that's
a
his
different
role,
style
right?
altogether
Which
from
is what's
Sheriff.
so good about the game is, you do have to play completely different as the Sheriff and as Robin Hood, which
Nice.
I think is cool.
But yeah,
I like it.
You can pick up this game from Miniature Market for $59.99. It's a little bit more expensive, but I think it is a good choice for a gamer's game.
I like it. It's a good one.
For the gamer who has all the games.
For the gamer who has all games, is our next category. I was hoping not to go first in this one, actually, because I thought you guys might pick one of the ones that I had, and I like both of mine. I'm going to go with a BGG Series collection of art as my choice.
I thought about this.
So
too.
Board Game Geek has the Artists Series on it, and I believe there are something like 20-ish, if I remember correctly, last I checked, different art prints that you can get of your favorite board games, such as Terraforming Mars, Galaxy Trucker, Gloomhaven, Cryptid. There's a number.
Blood Rage, I think.
Blood Rage is on there. There's a
Very
lot of
cool.
different board games on there. And if your gamer has a board game that they love, go see if there's an artwork piece that has been specialized for that. And the prints vary in different sizes. And I think this is a great kind of gift that from the point that there are the sizes means that you can get small prints, which are relatively affordable, to really large prints that are going to be the centerpiece of your game room, but also going to cost a pretty penny. So I think if I were to receive like some of these prints, I would be ecstatic. Even if I didn't own some of these games, but I've enjoyed these games, I would love to have them.
Great suggestion. I like that.
I like it.
So what I thought about, I love dice. I just think dice are fantastic. If the gamer you're buying for does not have a fancy set of dice, go get him a fancy set of dice and a dice tower to roll them in.
Nice.
I love both of those things, right?
Yeah.
So, and there's all kinds of places that you can buy dice. Go to your local game shop. They're going to have dice there that you can buy. There's online retailers. Just find one and buy some dice. The metal dice are awesome. I've got, some of those that I bought at conventions that are really cool. Just get a nice set of dice. And then the dice towers, you can get all kinds of different types of dice towers. I have one that just makes all kinds of fun noise when it goes through. I'm looking at one now that Tyler has. That was this huge staircase,
it's
right?
like, 2 feet tall? I was coincidentally given that for last Christmas.
Oh, awesome.
That was a gift from my wife.
I've been sitting here tempted this whole time to roll dice down it, but I know it would not make for great audio content.
You know what?
Why don't you go ahead and do it right now? Go for it. Just go for it. Here we go.
I've been waiting.
There. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. All right.
So, what I love, side note.
Yeah.
This dice tower, I would love to take my Orthanc Lego set and modify it and build it around this dice tower so that you've got this big old Orthanc tower with a dice tower in the center of it.
Oh, okay.
I thought about doing that.
For those of us who are
I don't have
uncultured
free time. I'm not retired.
and
so-
don't know
I was
what
actually dumb.
Orthanc is.
Yeah, what is this?
It's from Lord of the Rings.
That I figured it was
Okay,
Lord of the
okay.
Rings. Is that the Nazgul, the Black Tower?
It is Saruman's tower.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saruman's, okay.
Yeah, so I have the Lego set from years ago. They do have Barad-dûr, which is Sauron's tower, right?
Right.
Okay.
That's a newer set, but is a little out of my price range right now. So,
Oh, all right. That would be awesome. Yeah.
but that could be a gift for the gamer game gamer who has all the games
Yeah.
sitting right here. If somebody wants to buy that, and then I can make a dice tower. out of
Ooh,
it.
suggestions for yourself. Okay, cool. So that's my fancy dice.
Yeah,
and
I
a
like
dice
that.
tower to go along with it.
Yeah, awesome. Love it.
Yep.
I think last time we did a holiday gift guide, we all picked iron clay.
Yes, we
if I'm
did.
Not mistaken.
We did.
Which is still an amazing suggestion.
viable
yeah. So I'm gonna go like Kevin. No, I'm just kidding.
Go. No, I fully support that.
So I was thinking about this. I consider I could fall under the class of a gamer who has all the games, right? I've got too many games. And so I was thinking, what do I want? Because I had a really hard time with this one. And eventually I just came to, you know what? I'm thinking like big Christmas morning commercial. You go outside, there's a big red ribbon on a car. I would like a new game table. At
I
some
thought
point.
about this as well.
And specifically my favorite. So we all have, Tyson and I have custom built tables. Kevin's got
The Origins.
Origins,
Game
theory. All awesome tables. If money were not an issue, Phalanx from Wrathscalers. That has always been one of my favorite tables. I mean, the Wormwood ones are ridiculous too.
With the cranks and the
raising and lowering the
vault.
the surface.
But I've always wanted this table. I've always thought it was amazing, and I mean the down payment on it is €750.
Just to get your spot.
Just to get your spot. So it can get pricey, and then shipping to the U.S. Ben recently backed their Kickstart, like 3 years ago, their table Kickstarter, and he just got his table from Wrathscalers, and it's not the same as the Phalanx, but it's more modular, but it's a similar style, right? So that's what I would pick is a new game table.
Now, I would
That's good.
say
That's good.
that would be awesome to receive it. Now, my only concern is if I received that with no input as a gamer, I might be, and like say I get a game table and I was dropping hints and I get a game table and then somebody ends up going to Costco and getting this poker table that was like
you have to
fold out legs
specify.
and stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to specify the table.
Yeah.
And if somebody gave me a Wrathscalers table, even maybe if it's not the color I'm looking for, I'm going to be okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Totally. But my backup choice for this one was a neoprene mat.
Yep,
So
I
if
thought
you
about that.
cannot buy a table, like just having a Game Toppers neoprene map, I would love.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So we're going on to games to donate.
Are these just games that we don't want anymore?
I hope I'm just going to pick. This is what I wrote down, and it's Arcs. Tyson owns this. I think this is a fantastic game to donate to a group of family at the holiday time. They can bicker and fight and get into intense discussions during the holidays. I think it's perfect.
I was just talking to
This
your
is
son
your
about
this is your
that.
choice. Okay.
And
I'm
he
going with
was
Arcs.
eager to get it, so maybe I'll donate it to your son,
No.
and then you'll have to play it with him.
He can play it with his friends, just like he does Unmatched. So, no, look, it's a great design. I've only played once. I had fun.
Did you?
I did.
Did you?
It wouldn't have felt like a satisfying win had I won. And I did feel bad when we just totally trashed on Greg after I argued for like 5 minutes for him to not attack me.
I didn't,
But it
feel
made-
bad 'cause
it
I never
made-
made those arguments, and I knew I was going to attack him.
But I had been building towards attacking him. I had to attack him. You attacked him right before I did, and then I just demolished what he had left.
But it made a memory. How many times have we brought that up? Like 5 or 6
exactly.
times, right?
Yeah.
It
Look
made,
at that.
It made just a feel-good memory.
And I want to share that with someone else by having Tyson donate it to someone.
Nice.
Wait, why am I donating it now?
Because you're the only one that has it.
Yeah, but if you're going to give a copy to somebody, you got to go pay for it and donate it.
All right. Well, moving on.
So,
Kevin's pick.
so I was thinking, okay, who am I donating this to, right? Is it an old folks' home, right? Is it kids? I'm like, what game would work across the board for all of those people? And I thought of Tenzi.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Plus, I don't ever want it in my home.
It's a speed dice game.
It's
right?
it's a speed dice game. It's a speed dice activity.
It's accessible to anybody.
It's accessible to anybody. Everybody I play it with loves it, right? It's just you're rolling dice and you're trying to get the same number. That's all you're trying to do. There's different variations of it.
Yeah, you got to add those in.
You have to. I seem to always play the game where I'm trying to roll a number, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And who's doing that quickest? It's like, okay. But everybody loves the game. I'm not a huge fan, but everybody I play with likes it. And I think it would be a great game to donate. Tenzi.
See, last year I did something similar and felt like, could I donate something to like somebody who found it at a Goodwill, or somebody who like you donate it in a gift guide that gives it to a family who needs a Christmas present, or whatever. That's the route I took, and I chose Fireball Island last year or last time, and I really thought that was good. I decided to pull a Tyler this year and choose something that was more comical, I think. I ended up choosing Septima to donate because coincidentally, that's exactly what I did with
You donated it?
Septima.
You didn't even sell it.
I did not sell it. I gave it to somebody.
Who'd you give it to?
I
What?
gave it to a listener of ours, Ken. He's in our Discord server. I play games. He's a friend of mine, and he and I have had like this pen pal friendship relationship. I went out there and played games with him a couple of years back, and then we've donated games to each other back and forth.
Nice.
So like I knew I wasn't getting anything out of it. I never even got it out of Shrink. And so I was like, you know what? Ken might actually like this game. So I donated my copy to him.
Oh, that's awesome.
There you go.
So I'm hoping it gets more play than it saw here.
I think a suitable answer would have been also Trekking the World First Edition
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
instead of doing a
Yes.
competition.
right. Just donate.
That would work.
That is a possibility. Yes.
I like it.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Best bang for your buck.
I'm really glad that I got this one.
Okay. Dang it, I hope it's not mine.
Because I think it's Kevin's. Next Station Paris is the best bang for your buck, I think, of the holiday season.
the choice, though. I love the choice.
I think this game is phenomenal. I recently went back and played Next Station London. Really enjoyed my play of that, but I couldn't help thinking the whole time I was playing it, I was like, man, I just want to play Next Station Paris.
Yeah.
And I love this game. It is a really fun roll and write game. When you were talking about Trek 12 earlier, there's things about that it was making me think of Next Station Paris again, and I was like, I want to play that again. So I think that this would be the best bang for your buck. And you can find this game as low as $16.99 on Card House games.
it's a bargain.
And it's a really good price for it. And the production quality, I mean, it's just a pad of paper, but it's got the pencils in there, and it's got the cards in there, and it's got a lot of like content and variability in it. It's a small box that packs a big punch, and you're going to get a lot of mileage out of it. I think it's a good bang for your buck.
That the pad that you get is massive.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're going to get a lot. I mean, you can.
And it's double-sided. Each you can
it is.
use each sheet of paper twice. So,
But I could see going through that whole thing.
Oh,
I
for
like
sure.
the game that much, right? I recently played Next Station Tokyo, like on the table, and that one is hard. I liked it.
it's more brain burning. It's trickier.
It is. It's more brain burning, just the way it's set up. Having to visit all the stations around that green track, and the different things you do. It's not. I don't like it as much as Next Station Paris.
I do think with all the plays I've played of the Next Station series, Next Station Paris is the best one of this collection.
Yeah.
It's a really good price, and it's the most recently released one, so least likely for your gamer who you're purchasing for to have a copy of this one. I think it's highly worth it.
Okay, like it. So when I was thinking about this category, I'm like, well, what game have I? Well, it's one of the games I've played the most that is the least expensive, and that I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of. So that was my criteria. This game, it's currently out of stock on Game Nerds, but you can get it for $7.07. You can get it on Amazon right now for $11.28.
It's a bang for your buck.
That's good bang for your
What
buck.
the heck?
This is Llama. I've played this game so many times, and we've talked about it a lot on the podcast. It's and most recently in our Cabin Con episode. It shouldn't be as fun as it is, but it always is a good time. And I played this a lot with my family. We've definitely got our money's worth out of it. I have not sleeved this, and it's getting pretty rough, the cards. But I don't care. I can just buy a new copy because it's super cheap if I need to. So that is my best bang for the buck game, Llama.
Excellent choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I also chose this last time. No, just kidding. I did not.
See my eyes. Okay. The criteria I used was just the best deal I could find on a game I really like.
Okay. Yeah.
I went with something that was on sale at Amazon for $15.
Ooh, nice.
Normally like $34, $35 range.
Whoa.
Survive the Island.
Oh,
This
okay.
re-implements Survive Escape from Atlantis, which is a classic. I grew up playing that as a child. I grew up playing that as a kid, not a child, because that sounds weird.
Okay.
You have all these meeples that you put on this island, and you're trying to escape to one of the four corners via boat or much slower swimming. If you jump on a boat with multiple of your people, then you can move multiple people to a safe space. Meanwhile, at the end of everybody's turn, someone is pulling away a tile, and sharks or kaiju are showing up, or whales. In this version, I think it's sharks, kaijus, and erupting volcanoes. And so you're just trying to get as many of your meeples to safe spaces in the corners by the end of the game. Not only that, but they have different number values. So you select where you put like your meeple that's worth 5 points somewhere on the island. But you can't look at it the rest of the game. You have to go kind of off of your memory, and it just creates some really fun take-thatty experiences. And I grew up playing this, and I loved it. And I have a copy of the old version, Survive the Island. This one that I found for $15 on Amazon is available on BGA, and I've been having a blast with it. It is just chaotic misery for everybody. So you're lucky if you get, in a 4-player game, you're lucky if you save like 3 out of 10 of your meeples. So it's just fantastic.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun. Awesome. Survive the Island.
Can you transition between your own?
Actually, I can, because
Speaking of surviving.
Speaking of being on the ocean and the seas, best white elephant gift. Okay, there are two schools of thought with white elephant gifts, right?
Right.
Yes.
There's the one like pick a gift that nobody wants, everybody hates, and it's funny and not useful at all. And then there's the white elephant like Michael Scott showing up with the iPod.
That everybody wants.
And everybody's trying to steal it, right?
Yeah.
I went with the useless, can't use, can't pick, right?
Yeah. Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. $26 on Amazon.
Okay.
This is Catan expansion, Seafarers. 5 and 6 player expansion for Seafarers.
Oh, nice.
So not just an expansion.
Just the expansion to
You
the
have
expansion.
to own Catan and Seafarers expansion
Nice.
to enjoy and find enough people that want to play Catan
Right.
to make use of this 5 and 6 player expansion. So
Like
that
it.
is my white elephant gift.
I love it. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah. Good choice.
Because people are going to be excited to get it at first, maybe. They're like, oh, a board game, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
And then they
Oh, wait,
realize,
I have to
"No,
buy
can't-
a base game and an expansion to use this 5 to 6 player expansion.
Yeah, and very few people like this anymore. Can I get 6 people to play, or at least 5? Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that was my pick.
Okay. Yeah, same school of thought for me, right? What is a kind of like a gag gift, right?
Yeah.
So this one is Killer Bunnies.
This is fantastic.
Who likes this game? It's terrible, right? I mean, God, screw you.
I would absolutely hate to receive this as my white elephant.
me
I'd be
too,
trying
right?
to pass this
Yeah.
thing
I
off.
would
Get
happily
this crap
steal
away from
this, even though I already own a copy. So screw you guys.
So I don't even know where you can find this now. I think I looked
on the shelf over here by Tyler.
Yeah, which version do you want?
So I looked at Game Nerds. I think it's all sold out. Yeah, I did pull up eBay. You can get it for the starter deck, the blue starter deck, for about $25. So if you want to get it there, this person's selling it for $5. That's probably more reasonable, but.
Or a giveaway. That's a donate one.
That's a donate one. There you go. So anyway, killer bunnies.
I reject that answer.
Perfect choice. I think that was perfect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go again. Same school of thought. I was looking at cost effective, as well as useless. But somebody might find some sort of enjoyment out of this potentially, for the half a second that they have it. The game I chose was A Christmas Karen.
Whoa.
This is $9.99 on Amazon. Just so that there's some context, if you're looking on BGG to find this one, it doesn't exist on BGG. This is like one of those like Target or Walmart games where you're just like, somebody made this just a cash grab.
Oh my
and
gosh.
That's exactly what this is. So A Christmas Carrot is a game of 1-star reviews, and it takes actual 1-star reviews off of Amazon and that Karen-like people have posted, and then you have to make determinations and play this game, Cards of Humanity style game. Let me read one of these reviews on it. It says, Christmas Pajamas. They're reviewing Christmas pajamas. It says, good to buy if you celebrate Christmas in Miami. Too cold. And then you have to figure out how to play the game. I don't even understand how to play this game. There's not a whole lot of description, but yeah.
$10 on Amazon.
$10 on Amazon. I think it's a great white elephant for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good choice. I wouldn't want that.
Right the review. Dog loved it. It looked and tasted just like her food. Huh. Okay.
I think it fits the category well.
You know what?
I like
frequently is bought together with it. I just saw Santa Cookie Elf
Candy Snowman, which is a really.
I would take that one.
I bought that game. Amazon is telling me I bought that game in December of 2020.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, good choice.
Yeah,
I like it. Very nice. Well, this was fun.
Yeah. I think that wraps up our gift guide for 2024 of games you can get for every gamer in your life.
Hopefully, some of our suggestions were helpful.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This was fun.
That's the whole goal. Right?
Yeah.
This was a good time.
Yeah. And this probably is the last you'll hear from us this year.
That's safe to say.
Yeah.
Things are already very busy. It was difficult getting this scheduled,
Yes.
but we got it done, and we're going to enjoy the rest of the year, hopefully.
So we hope everyone enjoys the end of the year and has
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, has an amazing 2025, and we'll be back next year.
We'll be back in 2025, even though Tyler just made it sound like we'll be gone for an entire year after that. Have amazing 2025, as if you weren't going to hear from us.
Yes.
But we'll be back.
Have a great kickoff to your
There you
2025,
go.
so Tyson doesn't think that I was talking about the whole year. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll be back at some point.
Yes.
Yep, for sure.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Longest Turn Board Gaming Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you want more Longest Turn in your life, please check us out on Instagram. Also, be sure to check us out on Board Game Geek, where you can join our guild, Guild 3947, and check out our blog, where we post all our show notes and occasionally post more detailed reviews. If that's not enough for you, we have a Discord server. If you want to play a game with us on Board Game Arena, join our Board Game Arena group, The Longest Turn. Until next time, thanks for listening.
Tot ziens.
Goodbye.
See you later.
Hello.
Hello.
Sitter un hajduk.
Hejsan allihopa.
Hejsan allihopa.
I like the way he said it better.
Yeah, yours was nailed it.